For the last year, I've raced exclusively on triple screens. Every video on this channel has been made that way. And yeah, I've tried VR before, at an event, not on iRacing, not on a great system, bad graphics, bad performance, and a migraine that lasted the rest of the week. So when people kept telling me, once you go VR, you'll never go back, I didn't really believe them. But this week, I finally tried VR properly, and this time was different. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Getting the VR setup was a nightmare. Drivers, runtimes, settings menus, things launching when they shouldn't, things not launching when they should. Every time I thought I'd fixed it, something else broke. But I'll be honest, I'm absolutely useless with this stuff. It's not VR's fault. I don't enjoy tweaking files. I don't enjoy troubleshooting software. At one point, I was genuinely asking myself if this could ever be worth the hassle. And then, I finally got to sit in the car. And within about 5 seconds, I stopped thinking about setting problems entirely. The depth, the scale, the sense of where the car actually was on the track. I wasn't even looking at the apex anymore. I was leaning toward it. For the first time in sim racing, it didn't feel like I was watching the car. It felt like I was sitting in it. I wasn't judging distance by reference points on a screen. I was judging it by instinct, by depth, by how close things felt, not how close they looked. Even something as basic as checking mirrors felt different. I wasn't flicking my eyes to a screen overlay. I was actually turning my head and looking, and my brain just accepted that. No adjustment period, no learning curve. It felt weirdly obvious. What surprised me the most was how quiet my brain got. On triples, my brain is constantly translating what's on the screen. In VR, I'd cut out the middleman. And that's when it clicked. If VR can trick your brain this much when you're alone, what's it going to do when you're surrounded by other cars? Before we go any further, one quick thing. This is an AI race. Not because I suddenly love racing computers, but because I didn't feel right throwing myself into an official race while my brain was still recalibrating to VR. If I was going to make mistakes, and I absolutely was, I wanted them to be my problem, not someone else's race ruined. Once the race starts, I'm fully surrounded. I can feel how close everyone is without checking mirrors. I can sense movement beside me without turning my head fully. And I'm not guessing gaps, I'm judging them instinctively. And that's when it hits me. This feels heavier. Every car feels bigger. Every move feels riskier. Mistakes feel more expensive. Corners don't feel flat anymore. Elevation change and track camber finally make sense. I'm braking based on depth, not markers. Positioning the car based on feel, not habits. And without really meaning to, I'm driving differently. Not faster, just more aware. And then reality kicks in. It doesn't take long for my first mistake. I'm still getting used to real depth perception, still judging distances differently, and I run wide. Nothing dramatic, but enough to scrub off enough speed and hand back a couple of positions I'd just gained. And the weird thing is, everything feels faster. Not just visually faster, but mentally faster. Corners arrive sooner, cars feel closer, gaps close quicker than I expect. It's like my brain is suddenly processing more information and it's struggling to keep up. By lap 2, I start noticing something unexpected. I can feel the car more. And I know that sounds a little bit vague, but it is real. The weight transfer feels clearer. The rear moving around under braking feels more obvious. Even the way the car settles on corner exit feels easier to read. And instead of giving me more confidence, it actually makes me hesitate. Because now I'm aware of everything the car is doing, and I don't fully trust it yet. I'm second-guessing grip, second-guessing throttle, second-guessing myself. But when I do commit, overtakes feel incredible. Watching a car slowly slide out of your peripheral vision, knowing exactly where it is without looking straight at it. That's something triples just can't replicate. Next lap, and VR really starts to show its strengths. I can literally turn my head and see someone sending it up the inside. No spotter call, no mirror flick, no guessing whether they're actually there. They're just there. And for a moment I start thinking, right, I get it now. This is the future. And then VR gently reminds me that it does not, in fact, turn you into a superhero. I clip another car, loop it completely and do a very elegant 360 straight back to last place. So yeah, immersion doesn't save you from stupidity, unfortunately. Catching back to the field, something else becomes very obvious. Near misses hit differently in VR. When a car spins out in front of you, your body reacts before your brain does. You flinch, you tense up, you lift instinctively. Even though it's AI, even though it's not real, your brain doesn't care. Clipping someone suddenly feels expensive. Like you've actually done something wrong, not just messed up a race. And that's the moment I realize this isn't just about visuals. VR changes how seriously you take what's happening. By lap 6, things finally start to click. I'm still nowhere near my usual pace. I'm braking early, turning in cautiously, leaving margin everywhere. But fighting my way back through the pack in VR feels phenomenal. Even simple passes feel dramatic. Pulling alongside someone, watching them sit just off your shoulder, knowing exactly how much space you've got without guessing. Honestly, despite being slower than normal, it makes you feel like Senna. And that's when I realize this isn't really about lap times at all. This isn't just more immersive in the marketing sense. Your brain actually buys into it. You feel different. It's thrilling and slightly terrifying at times. And once you've experienced it, it's really hard to imagine going back. But it isn't perfect. Firstly, it's exhausting. Not just mentally, but physically. Your neck moves more, your body tenses more, your brain is processing way more information. After one race, you feel it. This isn't something you just jump into casually for 6 hours without thinking about it. Your confidence is going to take a hit at first. Ironically, seeing and feeling more makes you cautious. You don't lean on the car the same way until trust builds back up. The setup barrier is real. Let's not sugarcoat it. Getting VR running properly is a pain in the ass. Settings, drivers, run times, performance tuning. If you love tweaking PCs, you'll be fine. If you just want to race like me, it's a hurdle. And recording it? That's its own battle. What you see in the headset isn't always what looks good on screen, which, for someone making videos, definitely matters. So if you're asking, should I switch to VR? The answer isn't as simple as yes or no. If you want immersion, real presence, nothing touches it. If you want consistency, comfort and simplicity, triples just make a lot more sense. What I will say is this: VR isn't a gimmick. It's not a novelty, and it's definitely not hype. It's a different way of racing, and whether I stick with it long term or not, I'm very glad I finally gave it a proper shot. Just a quick note before I wrap this up. Pimax sent me this headset to try for the videos. No scripts, no pressure, and everything you've seen here is my honest experience. If you want to check it out yourself, I've left my link and discount code in the description and on the Discord. I will try and update the discount as regularly as possible, but if it has expired, please reach out and I'll get it sorted for you. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.